Hello everyone and welcome to Coffee with Ceri. Now if you're unfamiliar with Coffee with Ceri, basically I pop on, I try to do it once a month for about 15 minutes-ish. I choose a subject that's caught my attention or something I need maybe just to have a chat about, something to break, an icebreaker at a coffee, should we call it. I aim not to deal with religion, sex and politics. Don't want argumentative. These are my opinions only. I do a little bit of research occasionally if it's something I really want to dive deep into, but just here to have a conversation. So pull up a chocolate biscuit, get yourself a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, herbal tea, glass of water, whatever you want it to be, and let's have a chat. So, excuse me a minute. So today's topic is one that's bounced around the arts and crafts community quite often. You hear it mentioned by quite a few content creators, and I have considered it, and that is, should my work be archival? Now, I'm a bit on the fence about this whole archival thing. For those of you who may be unaware of the term, archival means that it's going to last a long time without falling to pieces, fading, cracking, peeling. Um, it's a level above what I would say I would do. Now, I produce some nice stuff. I call myself a mixed media artist. I'm a content creator. I create art pieces that I have around my home. Some I give to others. I make journals. I do lots of stuff. Do I ever worry that it's archival? No, not in the slightest. The chances of anything of mine ever finding a home in a museum is pretty much zero. And that's not me browbeating myself down. It's just what I create are things that I enjoy, that are vehicles for me to share skills as tutorials on YouTube, and things that just give me mindful pleasure to create. I'm not planning to hang it at the Louvre. I'm not planning to have a tome of my artwork stored anywhere. And a lot of people do come on with, oh, it has to be acid-free paper, it has to be this, that, and the other, and that's fine. But how far do you take it? I mean, if you look at the grandmasters, like the artists in the world, let's see, I can think of a few names: Constable, Picasso, Rubin, oh, good grief, Merchant. That there's a lot. You get it. All those big classical paintings. Now, a lot of those artists were struggling artists. I can assure you, a lot of those were painted on wood panels that were possibly bits of wood nailed together and using whatever materials were available at the time. They weren't considering archival. Very few of them anyway, because they didn't have the money to do that. They were painting for the sheer love and passion of it. And our conservationists over the years have become so highly skilled that they can pretty much retrieve and repair almost anything. Now, there are exceptions to all rules, like watercolor will naturally fade depending on the conditions it's actually exhibited or stored within. So there's that argument. Things within an art journal or a folio of works that is not exposed to UV will last longer than things that are exposed to UV for obvious reasons. But do I ever worry about the quality of the paper I'm using? Paper or canvas or card or panel, whatever I'm working with, my main concern is it right for the subject I'm working in and the materials I'm working with? I don't consider archival. Now, there's another argument, and that argument would be is, if you're intending to sell your work, should your work be archival? I don't sell anything, so I never feel that pang of conscience about, is this going to be archival? Now, a few examples, and I'm not an expert, guys, absolutely not an expert. This is just a layman's view of archival. I would say that a lot of us are selling our journals. Sorry, a lot of you are selling your journals. You create wonderful pieces of art in journal form. Some of it is bespoke because it's commissioned. Some is the way that you are feeling at the time. Some are full of digital, some are full of stamping and paint and written elements. Some of them actually have vintage or antique pieces with them as well. But when we sell those, and I'm using the we because I'm not doing it obviously, when we sell that journal, do we let our customer know that actually over time the ink may fade, or the paint may crack, or the glue I've used on the binding has only got a life expectancy of blah blah blah? Do you see what I mean? So how much do we make our customers aware? If I was buying a journal from someone, say I was completely unaware of journaling, except that I've seen a journal and I buy it. When I buy something, I don't expect it to have an expiration date on it, unless it's food or some things like paints or stuff like that. If someone is selling me a journal, I expect to pay that money, good hard-earned money, for a high quality journal, which is absolutely fantastic. I don't expect to keep all my memoirs in it and in 10 years time open a page and bits are falling out, or the thread I've used has actually degraded, or the paper I've used has started to crack because it's dried out, or maybe I've used a glue that doesn't actually stand the test of time and pieces are falling out, or another one. And I did this myself. A few years ago, I went on my very first trip to Harry Potter World, the making of Harry Potter. And I took a load of photographs, and thank God I've still got them as digitals. And I actually had them all printed by my local printer. I didn't do them myself, got them properly. And then I glued them into my journal. A year later, all of them are destroyed, because whatever the glue was I used, and this is very day, I don't know what it was. I would imagine for me it was probably Fabri-Tac I used, because I was thinking it's a shiny surface to a shiny surface, and photograph paper is almost card. So back then I probably would have thought to use Fabri-Tac, and I can't say it was, but I'm saying I think it was Fabri-Tac, and the chemicals within the Fabri-Tac seeped through and destroyed the image on the front. Some of them weren't as bad as others, but some were like, oh my gosh, and I actually saved my very first ticket for getting into it. And whatever I glued that down with, that turned black. So I'm thinking it must have been not a printed receipt, but a heat generated receipt. So there's different ways of working with printing, and this must have been one that is not laser, not inkjet. It must have been heat printed. I don't understand the technology, guys, but I'm sure you're familiar with what I'm talking about. And whatever I stuck that down completely reacted with it, and it just turned it black. So I have experience of not knowing what is best for what. So things happen, is all I'm saying. Things happen. I'm not saying that you should be putting an expiration date on things you sell. I think potentially, if I was actually selling journals, I would probably say, if I was selling them on a website or on my own website or Etsy or whatever vehicle you're using to sell them, do you, in the description of the journal, say this is not guaranteed as archival or something in it? Now, I know someone's going to go, well, no one's going to buy it if they read that. That's your conscience. I mean, I would hope that I don't mislead anyone. And knowing it but not telling it, in my personal opinion, is basically not good for me. I would rather be completely and utterly honest and say, listen, this journal was not created to be archival. If you take care of it, it is absolutely likely to last, probably as long as you last, but no guarantees. It's like with the art pieces I create them using mediums that are in this studio. Like a lot of the time, I'm doing collage work with matte gel medium onto a panel, a card, onto styrofoam, because big bad Where is Big Bad Bob? Oh, he's downstairs in the living room. Styrofoam heads. The things I create, I haven't checked whether the matte medium I'm used stands the test of time. I've not had anything fall to pieces on me, I must admit. But I'm quite heavy-handed with my applications of glue stick, mediums, paints. So I don't know whether the thickness of the stuff I'm using is helping it with its archival qualities. But should we be concerned, is my question. I actually don't think we should. I mean, unless you're, let's see, if you're selling your art or your created pieces in a high-end outlet, then I would probably think about a few of the elements and the longevity, because someone is paying top dollar, top pound, top whatever for your product, they are going to expect it to last more than a couple of years. They're going to want to hang it on the wall if it's a piece of art and not find that it's faded in the sunshine. Or, I mean, a good example is some of the historical portrait paintings. I watch a YouTube channel, I can't remember what it's called. It's a very long German name, Bergenhausen or something like that. And he's an absolute genius at restoration of art pieces. And every single time I see him look at one, the first thing he has to do is remove the varnish from the picture because it was the wrong varnish and it's yellowed with age. And as soon as he's taken that, all of a sudden, the painting starts to come to life again. So even though the artist in the original thought they were doing a good thing by sealing all of the oil paint, it's normally oil paint, with this varnish, using what they had at hand at that era. Over time it's gone yellow and it's degraded the properties of the painting, or it's crackled, or it's cracked, or it's done other damage. So we can only do our best, is what I'm trying to get at. I just like to be, if I'm not selling anything, I'm not worrying about anything. I don't think anything of mine is pretty much going to be passed down to anyone, or anyone who's going to claim it. I wouldn't be surprised if one or two of my friends go, oh, can I have one of Ceri's art journals? Because I know a few of them will go, well, can I have that? And I'd be like, yeah, well, no, yeah, I'll be dead. So when I'm passed away, they can get what they want. Art pieces on my wall, they're for my enjoyment. The value that I've got from them was the enjoyment of viewing them daily and being inspired by my own work. As I said, can't imagine anything ever of mine going into a museum. And if it was something that was for a museum, I should imagine, from what I've heard of other artists, you get commissioned to do a piece for a museum or a gallery. Now, if I was commissioned, say the National Museum of Wales, for some reason discovered me and went, Mr. Griffiths, we would really like a piece of your creativity as a Welsh artist in the National Museum of Wales. We would like to purchase a piece off you to display for eternity, or as long as they need it for. At that point, I would do some serious looking into, okay, what is archival? What does it mean? What's the atmosphere it's going to? At that point, I would worry. On a day-to-day basis, no, not worrying. Not worrying at all. But anyway, that was just a topic I thought to bring up because I just wasn't sure whether anyone else was concerned about it. If I'm thinking about it, I'm sure someone else is. Now, I do applaud, I absolutely applaud the creators out there who are doing their journals and their art pieces using archival materials, considering bindings, printing with the best quality inks onto the best quality papers, using techniques, checking that the ink in their fountain pen is UV protected if there is such a thing. So anyway, just a little one from me today, guys. Not sure even how long that was, probably about 15 minutes. So I'm Ceri Griffiths, and thank you for joining me for Coffee with Ceri. Until next time, bye.